چونکو کەلتوری ئیسلام کەلتوریی دژایەتی یەکترکردنە.
The culture of Islam is a culture of fighting.
منەکەی دەتکوژم.
If you don't listen to me, if you don't live like me, I'll kill you.
As I look to my people, we can say genocides.
We are surrounded by enemies.
More than 10,000 they were killed.
Before the big truck, like those trucks there, full of TNT, came to here and exploded. When I came, I found my brother's family. My brother and his wife and his son and the wife of his son, they were all together 10. They dead in one family.
Through 10 years, 58 times Saddam's planes bombed my village.
Sending in chemical bombs. Halabja, a city where 5,000 people were wiped out as their skin and their lungs burned.
They've also were known to just bulldoze entire villages down.
Over my left shoulder here is a village that was destroyed by Saddam. Can you imagine being a child, seeing your home, your family destroyed in a moment?
Wherever there is pain, there's Jesus. We just feel like we are an extension of his love.
Hello and welcome to Iraq. On one of my first trips here to this beautiful country, a provincial governor looked me in the eye, shook his finger and said, "You will never care for orphans in our country." Well, a lot has changed since then. God has done some amazing things and World Orphans is making a difference here in Iraq. One of the areas that we're working is a very strategic region. When many people think of Iraq, they think of a dry and dusty land. And while that's true for a lot of the countryside, where we're working is a beautiful land of mountains and verdant landscapes. Waterfalls coming out of the side of chiseled cliffs, driving deep canyons and gorges. I kept saying it's not what you would expect, and it's in this particular region where we have our community center. Welcome to the World Orphans Community Center here in northern Iraq. The building that's in progress behind me will serve a community of about 120,000 people.
Right in the midst of a widow and orphan community.
With only 6 known believers.
The area is called the Freedom Martyrs Village. All of them lost relatives in the war with Saddam.
Churches that we have partnered with here will be running programs such as English tutoring, computer classes, and also offering trauma and grief counseling to the children here that have suffered so much hurt because of terrorism and conflict.
We have local believers in this area who have garnered a lot of favor with the government as well.
We have a Christian, he is working for World Orphans and he is volunteer worker.
I learned from Jesus because we received the grace freely from Jesus. So we should give freely.
He is representing World Orphan before government.
The government has literally just rolled out the red carpet for us.
The government gave us the land to build a community center here. I'm standing here on the second floor of our community center, and this space here is going to be used for community events, weddings, conferences, other festivities that draws the people of the community into the center. We'll also have on the property a playground and park for the kids to be able to come and enjoy. Right next to us is a school, and we'll open those facilities up for the school children as well. Just look at all the kids around me. What an amazing spot to have a community center right here in northern Iraq. We really couldn't be any better positioned to do this type of work.
So we just see this land that the Lord has given us, the community center, as a key platform for ministry.
I truly understand the definition of a facility, and that a facility facilitates ministry.
The people are missing something, and this thing is with Jesus.
To see the kids that we're going to be serving, to interact with them and play with them is what allows me to now really visualize the impact that that community center is going to have. I'd like to introduce you to Lali, right? Lali? And Jian and Vian. They're my new friends, literally across the street from the community center. Now, their father has died. Their mother is now very sick and is in the hospital. Lali, Vian, and Xian are what we would term highly at-risk children. Children that have already lost one parent and are at risk of losing another. Our community center will be serving kids such as these, helping to keep the mom alive if at all possible, but then resourcing the neighbor so that she can keep these kids in her care so that we have 3 less orphans on the streets. We also have a partner, a pastor, on the outskirts of Mosul.
In this area, it's not easy to make a building and put a cross on it.
Now, Mosul is often referred to as the headquarters of Al-Qaeda in Iraq.
They have many victims of persecution from the Arab chauvinists.
This pastor owns some land that he has offered to us. This land has been handed down through his family for generations. Very highly prized piece of property. And for him to offer it to us, to the church, for the care of the widow and the orphan, is a very amazing act of generosity.
Through this project, we can have a wide net, and this would be an opportunity to share the gospel with them.
We're currently on the outskirts of Mosul, a town that's been called the headquarters of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. And I'd like you to meet 3 of my new friends here. These precious children are orphans because of a terrorist, a hateful act. Here in this village, we've been offered land, the church has been offered land to be able to take in children such as these, to be able to make a difference in their lives. We count it a privilege to be able to serve children such as these through the churches that we partner with. The church here in this area is small, but they have passion. And through their desire to reach out and care for the least of these, they can be strengthened. They can be viewed favorably in the eyes of their community. Join us as we join them to help children such as these.
Throughout northeastern Iraq, there are many refugee camps.
These are the Iranian Kurdish people, and they're primarily all refugees.
But here, we are welcomed in with open arms.
Bringing some gifts that were provided by Samaritan's Purse, as well as distributing children's books that share the good news of Jesus Christ with them.
We're invited in to meet with the village chief and the elders of the community. And within that context, we tell them about our relationship with Christ.
That God sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to pay the penalty for the things in my life that were not pleasing to Him.
You know, this is a Muslim land, and here we are openly share the gospel with the leader of that refugee camp.
So what we have here is a melting pot of Iranian, Syrian, Turkish, Arab, Kurdish peoples that have all felt some sort of disillusionment with Islam.
And we've had several come up to us and just say, look, we just want the truth. They're really open.
And our hope is that in the midst of that disillusionment, that they find Christ, but they are here right now as a remnant that can eventually return to their home countries and be able to impact the kingdom accordingly.
Yazidis are very persecuted by Muslims, so they have a very big number of orphans.
A few years ago, my heart was wrenched after being shown a video of a Yazidi teenager who was stoned after she fell in love with a Muslim boy. We took the opportunity to visit the area where that happened.
In this area, there is no even the agencies, humanitarian agencies, and they are very poor.
Walking through this village and knowing how much the women are devalued, this is a work that we're trying to break open also.
بوی برنامه‌کەی ئێوە
Through a steady building of relationship with government officials, we have their favor, we have their support.
We can help you. We can make coordination for you.
This particular governor oversees 4 or 5 mayors in the region.
And is a very important figure in the government.
He loves World Orphans. He loves what we're doing.
We have openly declared who we are.
He knows that we're Christian.
We have not hidden the fact that the reason we are here is because we are believers in Christ Jesus.
In fact, this man has gone on record saying to a detractor, far better to be a Christian than a terrorist.
But long term, we'll be coming with additional teams from America.
And by God's grace, this will not be just our first project, but we'll have many more.
The mayor, the one who gave us the land, is exceedingly open to what we're doing. Again, he too knows that we are a Christian organization.
Yes, we are all Christians, and it's because of the love God has shown us that we wish to serve others with that love.
There is total transparency here.
For the project that you are doing in our district, we are hungry for a project like this.
We couldn't be more excited about what God has done and given us that favor with the government.
A few years ago, when I toured this region of Iraq, I visited a very bleak 1940s style institutional orphanage, a very dismal place. Now here in the same region, we have family style homes, a village, a veritable village of children that have been rescued.
At this facility that was built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, we were able to train all of the directors, and we got to train them in biblical principles of counseling. And the response was,
we would like to continue with the trainings every 3 months, if possible.
And not just for our administrators, but with each and every one of our caregivers.
So that's been of great joy and excitement for us to be able to work within a model that approximates ours, absent the local church, of course, but then the churches we partner with become the churches that fill that void. And it's a privilege for us to be able to serve such a model, to be the church.
This is an opportunity to plant the first churches this region has ever seen.
We've come a long way from "you will never take care of orphans in our country" to the point where the government not only supports us and encourages us, but has given us land, also allowing us to be able to train and build into caregivers in a family-style orphan village. And the work we do in Baghdad through 70 cell churches supporting 260 orphans. I'm asking you, as brothers and sisters in Christ, to come alongside us now and to take advantage of this opportunity.
This is an ideal place to begin working and pushing back kingdom of darkness and allowing God's light to shine, bringing it to one of the darkest areas in the world.